be talking about my journey passing NCLEX. So if you know anybody who is trying to study for the NCLEX, try to pass NCLEX, share this video, subscribe, tell everybody about it, give it a thumbs up. And if this is your first time here, I am very excited to have you, and stay tuned. So I have taken NCLEX three times, guys. So if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it, because the hardest part is passing nursing school, and you guys know how hard it is. So once you pass nursing school, the last thing to check off on your list is to pass NCLEX. So do not, if you fail NCLEX the first time, the second time, no matter how many times you've taken it and you fail, don't feel discouraged. Do not give up. Don't feel hopeless. Don't feel like you're not smart, because NCLEX is not really testing your, well, it's not testing how smart or how dumb you are. So don't feel like you're dumb. Don't feel like you're stupid. No, do not feel depressed, but it is hard once like you study and then you go take the test and then you fail, and then you seeing all your friends passing, saying the test is so easy, but honey, it's not. But yeah, don't be too hard on yourself, because I personally was really hard on myself. I didn't even give myself a break, but that's life. Like I said, if I pass NCLEX, you can pass it. You are a conqueror. God has a plan for you, no matter how many times you take the test. Stay focused, be determined, never to give up. Don't change your career because you feel like you can't pass NCLEX, so you want to change your major. No, you're gonna pass NCLEX, okay? You are gonna pass NCLEX. I'm praying for you, and I know, I believe in you. I really do. I know you can do it. Alright, so let's get started. If I can have everybody to please like, subscribe, give my video a thumbs up, and tell everybody about the video, because at the end of this video, if you stay tuned and watch it to the end, I will be telling you how you can enter a drawing where I will pay for somebody test prep on UWorld, so they can be able to study and pass their NCLEX. So I'm gonna bless somebody on this video, so stay tuned. All right, where do I start? Okay, first time I took NCLEX. Okay, so study method. First time, I was fresh out of college, out of nursing school. So my school will pay for you to do ATI, and you need to get the green light before you can go take your test. So I got the green light to take my test, and for some crazy reason, I don't know what it was, it took ATI. Well, not ATI, it took Georgia Board of Nursing about 2 weeks to approve me to go take my test. And once I got the green light, within that 2 weeks, I wasn't really studying, because I was like, okay, I got a green light, and everybody said, oh, the test is easy. So since I got the green light, I don't need to study, I don't need to do nothing. Which, number one, that was a complete mistake. Okay, if I can go back in time, I wouldn't have done that. But so 2 weeks later, I got my approval to go take my test, and I felt confident. I felt good. I felt like I was gonna go take this test and knock it out the way, because everybody's saying that it's easy. And so when I took the test for the first time, I was, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was sitting there taking the test, and I have a short attention span. So after like 75 questions, this computer kept going, and in my head, I'm like, I wasn't refocused anymore. I was just like, okay, I already passed 75 questions, and am I failing this test? This is taking too long. I was like, it's so crazy. Like, I'm not saying I didn't take the test serious, because I did, but it's just the fact that after you pass 75 questions, you be having like crazy stuff running through your head, like, shoot, like, damn, am I failing? But honestly, you're not failing the test, okay? The computer is still trying to determine like if if you above average or if you're below. So that's pretty much what it is. But I lost my focus when I was taking the test. I did end up with 265 questions, and I pretty much used all 6 hours. Okay, like I was sitting there for 6 hours taking the test, and I was done. I think I was like the last one in there too. Like it was like late at night. So I was done with 265 questions, and I didn't do the Pearson review because I was so scared. I was like, shit, I already failed the test. I'm like, 265 questions. But I was so nervous, I still went and did the Pearson review anyways. So, so the Pearson review is like a trick where you will like go on Pearson review, try to sign up for the test, and if you pass, it wouldn't allow you to pay for the test. But if you did not pass, your payment will process right then and there. So I did the Pearson review, and sadly I failed because they wanted me to pay for the test again. So honestly, I didn't know like what to tell my parents, how to tell my friends. Like I was so embarrassed. I was so discouraged. I was crying, and that's not the first time I've cried over this test. But you know, like I was depressed. Like I went home because my parents knew when I was going to take the test, and some other people. So another thing, don't ever tell people when you're about to go take your test, okay? That's just gonna keep your mind at peace, even if you pass or you fail. So don't do that. So I went home. I told my parents. They were very supportive. It was like, oh, it's the first test. It's okay. You can go back and do it again. Okay. So the first time my school paid for it, and then the second time, I guess after that you just have to pay for it yourself until you pass. And you guys know how expensive it is to pay for your NCLEX. Like it's a lot of money. You got to do background check. It's so much process. But so I told my parents, and I had to tell my boyfriend, and I thought he was gonna be really upset. He was gonna be really upset and mad, but he wasn't. So he was very supportive, and he even offered to like pay for my test as well. So that was a release, because at this time I was working at Kohl's and I wasn't making much, so he paid for my test the second time I went and took it. So in between studying for my test, so I stopped using NCLEX. I stopped using ATI completely. Okay, so I was doing a lot of research online about like test prep and what to use to take this test that's gonna help me. So I did Kaplan. I paid for the Kaplan test prep. I would say Kaplan did not really help me. It really didn't help me. No. It was, they have a lot of videos online that you will watch. So you watch the videos, and then they have questions, like a Q bank as well. You do the Q bank, and once you see your test result increasing, then you're doing better and you can go take your test. So I did Kaplan all the way through. I think I did Kaplan with one of my homegirl, Michelle. Like she was my study buddy. Like we studied like together for NCLEX, and most of the time we would talk and not study. But yeah, so we paid for Kaplan together. We studied Kaplan together, and I went for the second time. I took the NCLEX the second time, and 265 question again, and I failed again. And I was just like, And it's crazy because like when I'm studying like Kaplan, I was doing good on the Q bank. I was answering the question. I was doing good. But then when I come to the NCLEX, I think it's just my anxiety and my nerve and not staying focused after a certain period of time. I think that's what it was. It's not like I don't know my material. Like, I know this stuff. So, I mean, the second time after I failed, honey, I didn't want to tell nobody. Like, I'm like, shit. What am I telling my parents? So, I mean, I didn't want to tell them because they're, you know, when you're from an African home, you know that they have a very high standard of you. Like, everything got to be straight, this, that, like to the T. There's no making mistakes. And so I told my parents regardless, and of course I still have to tell my boyfriend because he paid for it. And I don't even know why I'm laughing, because it wasn't funny. I'm gonna tell you guys, it was not funny when I was going through this whole process. But now I'm sitting down and thinking about it. It's a little bit funny, because you just never know who God gonna place in your life to help you out, to support you, even when you are feeling down, when you feel like you can't make it. God always have somebody there to be that backbone to help you out. Okay, so after telling my parents, I told my boyfriend, and okay, this time around he was very upset because he paid for the test. So he was like, why you failed the test? You've been studying. You study every day, every night. How are you failing this test? Are you not praying? Are you not fasting? Are you not doing this? And I'm just like, I'm doing everything. But I knew what my weakness was. I knew it was just my anxiety and my stress level, knowing that people are counting on me and they're looking up to me. Like, I can't fail this test. There's so much pressure. And just seeing my friends getting a job and starting work and saying the test is easy, all of the pressure and all of that was just in my head. And honestly, I don't think I was thinking straightly. Like, I was just so concerned about what people was thinking, just things that's not important. So the first time I used ATI, second time I used Kaplan. So the third time I took the NCLEX was, I had a friend, and when you're so desperate to pass NCLEX, or you're so desperate for anything in life, you would do anything. So I had a friend that told me, oh, if you go to Tennessee, the test is easier in Tennessee and you will pass right away. And he gave me like a cheat sheet to use to study. And so I studied that sheet. I studied that sheet from front and back. If you ask me any question on that sheet, I can answer it for you. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna tell anybody that I'm gonna go take my NCLEX. It's just gonna be a clean sheet. I ain't gonna tell nobody. If I fail, oh well. If I pass it, I can tell everybody. And of course, who else gonna pay for the test again? My boyfriend gonna pay for the test again. He's gonna pay for the test again. So, like, honestly, I am very, very, very grateful to God that I have him in my life, because he was very supportive. Even though he would get mad that I'm not passing the test, but he was very supportive regardless of like everything. Like, we would fast and pray together. We will pray about this test every day. And so the third time he paid for the test again, and he was like, don't make my money go to waste. I said, okay, I'm gonna try my best. So like this time I felt like I was ready, because I studied that cheat sheet, and that was the only thing I studied. I studied it like from front and back, and I felt like I was ready, like, because he said that if that's, at least that's what he did to pass his NCLEX. Like, he studied that sheet and he went to Tennessee and took the test and he passed. So I'm like, okay. At this point in my life, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Is either you take somebody else's advice who been there, done it, and succeed, or just keep doing what you're doing. So I paid for a motel in Tennessee, so I drove there a night before, and I told my parents that I was going over to spend the night to a friend's house or to my family member house, because I didn't want them to know that I was going to go take the test. So I drove to Tennessee, went there, took the test. Well, let me tell you guys why I was taking the test. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, maybe I was just so nervous. Like, I was like reading each question like 2, 3, 4 times. I don't know why. Like, I was so scared, so nervous not to fail this test for the last time. And I was like, what is going on? Like, before I knew it, I was about to like run out of time. I was at like, I think I was at like 120 question, and I ran out of time. The computer shut down. I was, oh my God, I was shaking. Like, I was so scared. Like, I was shaking. I went in my car, and I still had a little bit of hope. I still had a little bit of hope because I heard that even if the computer shut off, you still have a 50-50 chance of passing or not, depending on what the last question was. So if you pass the last question, if it was above, then you pass. If it was below, then you fail. So I was like, okay. So I went in my car, did the Pearson review again, and I failed. Like the third time, like, it hit me real hard. Like, really, really bad. Like, yeah, like, on my way back to Georgia, driving back to Georgia, like, I cried. Oh my God, I cried all the way back. I cried. Like, I cried to God. I was upset at God. I was upset. Oh, I was so mad, so disappointed, so, like, words couldn't really express how I was feeling. Like I was crying. I was crying all the way, complaining to God, expressing myself to God. I'm just like, I was talking to God. I'm like, you brought me this far. You allowed me to go through nursing school. Like, I failed nursing school, but you allowed me to succeed through nursing school and graduate, and then now you don't want me to pass this test. And it's not even like God don't want me to pass the test. It's just like, I feel like I was going through like a stage in life, like a season, you know. I feel like I was going through a season in a stage in life. Like, I feel like God was trying to teach me a lesson. I don't, like, that's how I felt. But like, the third time I felt NCLEX, y'all, like, I told God, I was like, I'm not gonna talk to you. And like, oh my gosh, like, I said the worst thing ever. Which, when you're really upset, you will say things that you will regret later on. Like, I told God, I said, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. Like, I know you can't allow me to pass this test. Why you're not allowing me to pass this test? Like, what did I do? If I commit any sin, please forgive me. Just let me pass this test. Like, oh my gosh, y'all. It was a very long conversation with God. Like, oh man, like, a very long conversation. Like, I could just think about it right now, and I can just imagine myself driving through the highway and crying with tears dripping down my face, and people like driving past and looking through my car. At that point, I didn't even care. I was just, oh gosh. Yeah, that really broke me down. It really did. It really did. Because, like, at this point, it was going to a year now since I graduated. and I'm like struggling to pass this test. And like I felt like I was doing everything possible. I was fasting, I was praying, I was being obedient to God. Like, I don't know what was missing. Maybe I wasn't really totally devoted to God. I just wanted him to let me pass this test so I can just move on to the next stage of life. I don't know. But y'all, it was the worst moment of my life. So I got home. Of course, my parents didn't know that I took the test. I got home. I stayed in my room for a couple of days, just crying, y'all. I locked myself from everybody else. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I did not read my Bible. I didn't pray for like maybe 2-3 weeks, cause I was really upset. Like, I was really upset with God, but that was the wrong way to go. So after being depressed and just shutting myself down, you know, when you at a certain stage in life and you know you can't go back, you can't go forward, you're just stuck in the middle. So that's the place I was at that moment. So I told myself, I'm gonna pay for this test by myself next time. I'm gonna pay for this test. I'm not gonna tell nobody. I'm just gonna work long hours at work, pay for this test. I'm not gonna tell nobody the next time I go take the test. And surprisingly, like, God worked in a mysterious way, y'all. Even though I was still mad at him, I wasn't talking to him, but he still had my back. He did. So I was working at Kohl's, and one of my supervisor, I did my preceptorship at Eastside Medical, and I ran into my unit manager. So, and she loved me. Her name is Miss Angela. This lady loved me to death, and we got talking, and she was asking me if I already passed my NCLEX. It was my life journey. It's like, so, you know, I told her the truth. I was like, I haven't passed NCLEX. I haven't done, you know, I'm still struggling trying to pass it. She encouraged me, and the crazy thing is, she even offered to pay for my NCLEX prep. So, see, all these long hours I was working just to, you know, pay for my test, pay for my prep. God had like a whole different plan for me. So, like, I exchanged personal number with Miss Angela, and it was like in December of last year. She paid for my test prep. She paid for it. I don't even know how it happened. But when God ready to surprise you and show up and show out, honey, he will. So she paid for my test prep, and she used UWorld. And then I went and bought the Hearst review book as well, because I heard it was really good. So I bought the Hearst review book, and I did UWorld. So because I had so many distractions in Georgia, so I took 2 weeks vacation and went up to my aunt in Maryland and my uncle. So I was there for 2 weeks. No work, no distraction, no nothing. Okay, so like, I had a schedule planned out, morning to night, library open, library closed. Like, if I tell you guys, like, I was in the library from Monday to Sunday. I didn't give myself no rest. Well, when I got home after the library closed, that was my little day off. I studied my butt off. Like, the Hearst review book. Yeah, the Hearst review book. I don't have it with me because I gave it to somebody to study. But the Hearst review book, y'all, if you know that book from front to back, I guarantee you will pass your NCLEX. That's what I use. Like, I study that book every day. yeah, that book was a lifesaver. Like, I studied that book every single day, front to back. Like, because if you know the content, then you know how to answer the questions. And I think that was one of the key points that I was missing, because I was just, I was just answering questions. ATI is a lot of, it's review content and a question, but I wasn't really into ATI. And then Kaplan was I was just mostly doing question. I didn't really watch the videos. And then Hearst Review, Hearst Review was my go-to study person. It was the best. Like, it was the best. That's all I can say. So the first week, before going on my 2 weeks vacation, I studied a Hearst Review book front and back. And then when I went on my vacation, I took the book with me. When I went on my vacation, I did question on you. I did all question on you for 2 weeks. 2 weeks I did all questions. I first started, I would try to do 150 questions a day. So I would do 75 questions in the morning. When I go to the library, I'll do 75 questions and then review it, take a break, and then do another 75 questions, review it, and take a break. I will write down key points that I keep missing, and then I'll go back and look at it in the Hearst Review book and just try to gain more knowledge and understand the content. So that's what I was doing for 2 weeks, and my score for you were it was like in the 70s, the 80s. And when I did my first assessment, I scored like a 80. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go take this test. And even when I was like doing my question on you, or like the first week, I was scoring really high. I would go home and tell my aunt, I was like, I'm doing really good on this UR question. She was like, you know the stuff. It's just the fact that I get nervous and I'm easily distracted when I'm taking the test. It's not like I don't know the content. We all know the content. Trust me, you know the content. Everybody know the content. You know your stuff. You're not dumb. You know your stuff. It's just, you just have to find your weakness and try to balance it out. So that's what I did. I did UR question for 2 weeks, and when I came back, nobody knew my test date again. When I came back, my test date was on like a Wednesday. So the day before my test, so let me go back. So while I was doing my 2 week studying, my church was having like a 30, I think it was maybe a 30 days fast and prayer at the beginning of the year. You always have to fast and pray. So I fasted. Like this time around, if I told you, like I literally fasted for the first time, like I was focused, like I was so into God. Like it's not like I wasn't into God before, but like I fasted to the point where I felt His presence every time I studied. Like I was so at peace. I was calm when I was doing my questions and when I was studying. Like I didn't have any distraction at all. So I felt like God gave me that inner peace in my mind and my soul, and I was understanding my content. I was very well knowledge of what I need to know, what I need to focus on, and what I didn't need to focus on. But when I was doing your question, I did not do it like according to like the section. I just did like a random question or 75 questions. So that's what I did. The day before my test, I went to the testing center, and it was the same darn testing center that I first took my NCLEX, and I didn't want to go to the same site because I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna remember me. How many times has she been here? So it was the same site, and I sat there the day before my test. I prayed to God. Like I pray real hard. I pray to God, and I just left the rest to Him. And then the day of my test, on my way to the testing center, I was honestly, y'all, I was at peace. I don't even know where the peace came from. I don't know, like my mind was so calm. Like I was not anxious, I was not nervous, and all I can say it was God. It was God, because ain't no way I could be this calm on the day of my test, but God, like there's no way. So I got to my testing center. Miss Angela knew when my test date was because she was the one who paid for my test prep. So when I got there, she and I prayed over the phone, and then I went in to take my test. And before I took my test, I went to the bathroom, and there was a lady in there. She was about to take her test for engineering something. So y'all, sometimes I don't even know what I be saying or what I be doing, but when I went in the bathroom, I saw her. I was like, hey. So, I just asked her what she was here for, and then after that I was like, do you want to pray together? So she was like, sure. So I was like, okay, go ahead and pray. So she was like, no, you can go ahead and pray. So I ended up praying. So I prayed for us, and I just declared and believed that it was already done. Like, we have already passed our test, and we won't be back to this testing center again. And I did pray that God should just give me 75 questions, guys, y'all, because y'all know I cannot stay focused for that long. So I was taking my test, and I wasn't nervous again. I wasn't nervous. I was focused while taking my test. I had a lot of select all that apply, but it was crazy because I was looking at the test at a different view. Like, now I can see why people say it was easy, because when I was taking the test, it seems very easy. Like, it was easier question than your questions. So, I mean, like, I was taking my test, I was relaxed, calm, just going through the question. Within an hour, my computer went off at 75 questions, and I was like, no way. I was like, no. In my head, I was like, shit, excuse my French, I was like, damn, did I fail this test again? 75 questions, and it went off. I thought there, I was like, this can't be true. I was like, God, I better not pass. I better not fail this test. I told him, I said, I better not fail this test. Like, no, I better not fail this test. I literally sat there, and I was like, no, and I prayed. And then, I told myself I'm not going to do no damn Pearson review, because that stuff is just frustrating. So I did not do the Pearson review, because I was like, okay, I'm going to get my result the next day, because, you know, when you fail the test, they send you your result like that. They're so eager and fast to send you your result that you fail compared to when you pass. So, okay, so the next day I didn't get an email from them. So I was like, okay. So I waited a couple of days. I waited like 2 days later. I didn't get nothing. So I'm like, okay, what is going on? Did I fail? Did I pass or what? So I was at work. I was at Kohl's. I was at work. And I was just going to take it anymore. So I went and paid for the quick fat, because I didn't want to do the Pearson review trick. I don't know why. I just didn't want to do it. So I went and paid for the quick result. And I had passed my test, y'all. Y'all should see me at Kohl's. Like, I was yelling, I was screaming, I was so excited and overwhelmed. Like, I was so excited. I was so happy. Like, ain't nobody can tell me nothing when I was at work that day. Like, I didn't even care what the customer was saying. Like, I was just in a happy mood. Like, I couldn't wait to get off and tell my family, tell my boyfriend. Like, I was so excited, and I was just ready to get off. So I passed. Yeah, I passed my test with 75 questions. Yeah, on the 4th trial. So all I can say is God. Even though at one point I did decide to give up on him, but he never gave up on me. He never did. He always found a way to give me hope in spite of everything that I do. So So yeah, I passed my NCLEX with 75 questions. I would say to all those who are trying to pass their NCLEX or trying to figure out what test prep work best for them, you just have to try and see what works for you. But I would say to make sure you know your content, because if you know your content, no matter how the question is coming at you, you will know how to answer it no matter what way it's coming at you. Trust me, you will know you will know the answer. So know your content, and know your content, and you will pass the test. Just study hard, never give up on yourself. When God ready for you, when it's your time, you will pass this test. I'm telling you. It's not an easy journey at all. It's not. I'm not going to tell anybody it's easy, that, you know, you feel the first, second time, you're not going to feel emotional, or you're just going to be a happy camper. No, that's a lie. We all have happy emotions. We have feelings. You are going to feel a certain way. Trust me. It's going to be a burden, but never give up at all, because if I can pass my NCLEX, you can pass your NCLEX too. Just find your way of studying. As for me, I just needed to get away from everybody and be focused. So find your way of studying, what works best for you, and stick to it, because this is the only thing that's holding you back from working and making your money, okay? So I am very, very excited for all those who have, you know, graduated nursing school and trying to pass the NCLEX. I am praying for you, and I know that you will pass, okay? So with that being said, I will pay for someone test prep on UWorld, because I feel like UWorld is a very good test prep that can help you pass your NCLEX. And all you have to do is just get yourself the Hearst review book if you don't have it. So, or if you don't need it, if you already know your content, just go ahead and study the question on UWorld. So the way that you can get this free test prep, you have to go ahead and like and subscribe, give my video a thumbs up, and then tag me on Instagram and tag 5 other people as well, to be able to enter your name into a drawing, and then one person will be able to get a free test prep review of UWorld. So I think I'll do this by the end of the month. So you'll get, the name will be showing on IG. So you can follow me at Fina_Fifi. I will have my IG link at the bottom of this video, and that's how you will be able to get the free test prep. So I hope this video helped you stay encouraged, never give up on yourself, no matter what other people are saying, no matter what other people are doing. And just always remember to put God first, because without God, it is impossible to do anything, okay? Very impossible to do anything. And I am very, very thankful to God for my parents, my brother. My brother always asking, when you gonna take this test? When are you gonna pass this test? I'm very grateful for my brother and for my boyfriend. Yes, I am very, very grateful to them for always supporting me, always caring for me no matter what the situation is, and always willing to give me a helping hand as well. So may the Lord continue to bless you guys, for you guys to continue to bless me, because if you guys are blessed, I am blessed as well. So thank you for watching my videos. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and leave a comment, or you can email me. Well, not email me, but you can send me a message on IG as well. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and give it a thumbs up.